Police say the kidnapped woman suffered some cuts and was treated at a local hospital. Well, we need to go back to meteorologist Evan Hatter because a tornado warning has just been issued for parts of the northern area of our viewing area. Evan?
That's right, Steve. A tornado warning just issued. You can see it on the map. This is for portions of Powell, Menifee, Morgan, and the northern parts of Wolfe County. Let's go right to the radar. In fact, we'll just zoom in on that portion there just so we can get a good look at it. This tornado warning runs until 6:15. What we're looking at with this particular thunderstorm is the potential for a tornado to develop. You see that right there into portions of Menifee County. Let's zoom in on that and you'll see what we're talking about. This warning does run until 6:15, does not include West Liberty, does not include Campton, does not include Stanton or Clay City, but it does include downtown Frenchburg. What we're looking at, you see it right here, this hook echo right there on the radar, and that is giving us the indication that we have rotation in this thunderstorm, and you can see it wrapping around there. The inflow of the thunderstorm, and as such, the tornado warning being issued here this evening. Now we'll go into the velocity and really talk about what's going on here. It's very kind of hard to decipher there, but you see the bright greens next to the dark greens. We've got a lot of spinning in the atmosphere there, and that is where the potential for the tornado will be. This storm is pushing to the east and the southeast at about 35 miles per hour. So this storm will continue pushing east and southeast. Looks like it will go south of downtown Frenchburg, just south of Highway 460, but that will be with us through 6:15. This storm moving east at about 35 miles per hour. So we'll go ahead and put a track on this as this pushes to the east, and I will have to back up here, so we just bear with me just one moment. A tornado warning continues now for Menifee into Morgan, the northern half, or the northern, very far northern part of Wolfe County, and a very small sliver of Powell County as well. And we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning as well that takes in much of that area. Bath, Elliott, Estill, Jackson, Lee, Menifee, Montgomery, Morgan, Owsley, Powell, Rowan, Wolfe counties now under a severe thunderstorm warning, and that runs until 6:15. But our main focus is this tornado warning into portions of, it includes 4 counties, but there it is. I mean, this is giving me concern. This feature right here, it's this hook. Basically what's happening is that we are getting a kind of the potential for a spin-up tornado just south of Frenchburg. It's near Fagan. It's south and west of Denniston. So that's going to continue as we head over the next little bit. I'll put a track on this. This warning, like I said, does not include Campton, does not include West Liberty at this time, does not include Stanton or Clay City back in Powell County, does not include any part of the Mountain Parkway. However, this does include US 460 as it goes between Frenchburg and West Liberty, and this storm continues to move to the east at approximately 35 miles per hour. So we'll extend this out, and you see Pomeroyton in the next 15 minutes or so, Maytown by 6:03, Hazel Green 6:11, Grassy Creek 6:15, and if it holds together within the next hour or so, a half hour, into West Liberty itself over the next little bit. So again, we are dealing with a tornado warning for several counties in the viewing area, and this includes into portions of Menifee County, into Morgan County, Powell and Wolfe counties, though it includes very small portions of both of those counties at this time. So what we want to talk about as well is our tornado safety precautions. You'll want to get in the lowest level of your home, preferably a basement if you have it. If you don't, get in a closet, a hall, or a bathroom away from windows. Cover up with a blanket, a mattress, anything that can protect your head. If you have an old work helmet, an old mining helmet, an old football, baseball helmet, put that on. That will help protect you and your head from flying debris. If you're not in a home, if you're in a mobile home or a car, you'll want to get out of those to a reinforced building, lie flat in a ditch as a last resort in that particular instance. But we want to caution you that if you do that, we want to make sure that you are aware of the potential for flooding in that scenario. because these storms are producing quite a bit of heavy rain, and that will give us the possibility for some more in the way of flash flooding. So we want to make sure we're reloading the radar there, looking wide at the area. Again, most of the area, in fact, a lot of the area is on the quiet side right now. But one place we're watching out for right now into portions of Menifee County. So let's see if we can track this storm here for you as this continues into central portions of Menifee County. And if it stays on this track, it's heading into western portions of Morgan County over the next little bit. So here's the area we're watching very, very closely. It's a hook echo. What's happening is we have rotation in this thunderstorm. As such, it's wrapping up, it's wrapping the rain with it, and that's why we can see the potential for a tornado here with this particular thunderstorm. So I want to go back and look at our velocity to see what we have in terms of the velocity. Now, it is a little bit messy with where we are close to the radar, but you can see these two different colors. Normally, we look for the green next to the red. What we have in this instance is bright green next to dark green. It's still indicating that we have a difference there. It's called wind shear. It's a difference in the movement of the wind at various levels of the atmosphere, and that can give us the indication that we're dealing with a potentially tornadic thunderstorm just south of downtown Frenchburg. In fact, Frenchburg, you are not going to be impacted by the tornadic part of this thunderstorm, but that is going to come close to the Menifee-Wolfe County line, and that will push into portions of Morgan County over the next little bit. I want to check something else here because we have earlier today with this complex of thunderstorms, we did see a confirmed tornado in portions of southern Ohio that did produce damage. So I want to check on our debris here, and I'm not really seeing anything that would give me pause to say that something has occurred with this thunderstorm just south of Frenchburg. But again, it's something we need to pay very close attention to as we continue to watch this tornado warning. And it's this area right here. You see the hook echo in the southern portion of Menifee County. That's going to skirt very close to the Menifee-Wolfe County line. This is a tornado warning for portions of Menifee, Morgan, northern Wolfe, and portions of Powell County, but I would go ahead and give you, at least from the tornadic part of this thunderstorm, the all clear in Powell County as we're getting a look at this thunderstorm. And this was moving to the east and the southeast at about 35 miles per hour. So I want to go ahead and track this, make sure we know where we're going as this continues to push off to the east. So I'm going to push this off to the west so we can look at it again. We will take a track on that. I want to take it on this potentially tornadic part of the thunderstorm. It's moving to the east and the southeast at about 35 miles per hour. So here's where we are. Hazel Green within the next 20 minutes. Grassy Creek by 6:10, Greer by 6:15. It's Candle City by 6:18. Right now it's in very rural sections of southern Menifee County, pushing into northern Wolfe and southern and southwestern parts of Morgan County. Cottle by 6:23, Beth Anna by 6:26, Elsie by 6:30 if it holds together. And looking further on, if this storm holds together, we're talking places like Salyersville within the next hour, and Royalton by 6:44. So still something we need to watch as this storm pushes off to the east. I'm going to put on our velocity scope again just so we can get a look inside this thunderstorm. Right in here is where we're looking, where the dark green and the light green come together. It's a little hard to see without the red just because of where this is oriented close to the radar. We'll have to go in and analyze this as it stands. And again, we'll turn that velocity. We'll just go straight to the velocity product and just show you that there. It's this area. There's Pomeroyton. It's going to be moving just to the south of that area, pushing to the east again at 35 miles per hour. Just real quickly, I'm going to go back to the radar. I'm going to step off, check the National Weather Service chat to make sure we haven't gotten any new information. But this tornado warning does continue until 6:15 for Menifee, Morgan, and Powell counties in the viewing area. This is going to be moving toward the Maytown area, just very close to Hazel Green. And the good news is we have not seen any indication of a tornado on the ground at this point, which is a good sign. However, we will continue to watch the potential for a tornado to develop, and this would be right on the Menifee and Wolfe County line, north of Campton. This warning, by the way, does not take in any of the Mountain Parkway. Backing on out, though, we've been focusing on the tornado warning areas all along this line. Still have the potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds and hail to the size of nickels as this continues to push through the area. The severe thunderstorm warning does include places like Sandy Hook, West Liberty, Campton, Stanton, Slade, Beattyville, Irvin, as this pushes to the east. But the main threat continues to be the potential for a spin-up tornado into southern portions of Menifee County at this time. I'll go ahead, look at the debris again to make sure we haven't seen anything lofted, and I'll back this up here over the last 30 minutes or so just to see if we have any trends on radar. And I'm not looking at anything that would indicate to me the potential that we have had something on the ground. It's very messy in through here. Basically what we're looking at is correlation coefficient. The radar is able to detect the shape and size of objects in the atmosphere, and if they are similar in size, you get that red color. It's very, very likely raindrops. But if you get a lot of objects of different sizes, that's when we can indicate that we have lofted debris, but we have not seen that potential yet. But that signature is very concerning to me as that pushes now into very far northern portions of Wolfe County. Now, the Weather Service has just updated this warning at 5:50. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Denniston or near Frenchburg, moving east at 35 miles per hour. They took Powell County out of the warning, but it still does include western portions of Morgan County and northern portions of Wolfe County as well. And this runs for about another 25 minutes. So we are going to continue to watch this potential as we head through the next 25 to 30 minutes or so. Again, here's the area that we are watching very closely. The good news over the last few radar scans is that that has flattened out quite a bit. We're not seeing nearly the rotation that we were seeing a little bit ago, and that is a good sign. However, these things can cycle. It can be a situation where we see the hook echo flatten out, but then come back and reorganize into another spinning thunderstorm that has the capability of producing a tornado. We have not heard of any damage yet in far southern parts of Menifee County and into northern Wolfe County, but it is this area that we are watching very, very closely. Let's go back to the velocity and see what that looks like. It's getting a little more disorganized, but you can still see here, okay? Down here, just you may not be able to see it on the screen, but the radar at Jackson's just off the screen. Winds in the green here going toward the radar at Jackson in the bright green. The dark green, which would be analogous to the reds if we were looking at a more traditional velocity display, would be right in here. So that is where we're getting the potential for some of that twisting in the atmosphere, and that is why the tornado warning has been issued and does continue for the next about 20 minutes or so as this pushes through the line between Wolfe and Menifee counties and will eventually track into portions of western Morgan County as well. Folks in West Liberty, this warning, the tornado warning at least, does not include you. And I would say the track on this will take it south of downtown West Liberty. Now, we're still nervous. It's 10 years on, but I want to make sure you're aware that this is going to pass most likely to your south, but keep a very close eye on it. Hazel Green in Wolfe County. We need to keep an eye on you as this storm continues to push to the east and the southeast. This isn't like one of those big, larger tornadoes that is out on its own as an individual supercell. This is kind of a wrapped up portion of a big line of storms that can occasionally kink in one of these lines and it can spin up and produce a weak tornado, but weak tornadoes can still do damage out there, and not even the tornado threat. This whole area remains under a severe thunderstorm warning, and wind can do damage whether it's spinning or not. So we need you to be aware of the severe thunderstorm warning as well. I'm going to go ahead and put a track on this storm, make sure we've got everything settled here. continuing to move to the east and the southeast at 35 miles per hour. So we'll put a track on it as it pushes to the east and the southeast. I mean, just a little south of east. It's actually this portion of the storm right here. And good news, we have lost the tornado warning. It has been allowed to expire. So that is good news, but we'll still keep an eye on places in northern Wolfe County, into portions of Morgan County as well. But the good news is it appears that our tornado warning has been canceled, which is a good sign. I don't disagree with that. That has really broadened out and really started to weaken over the last little bit. So we'll continue to watch this here for the next couple of minutes, but the good news is the tornado warning for Menifee, Morgan, and Wolfe County has been allowed to expire as we head through this afternoon and this evening. The tornado threat has diminished according to the National Weather Service. The warning has been canceled, but large hail and damaging winds remain likely for the area as we continue to watch this whole line of storms pushing to the east and the southeast across portions of Menifee, Morgan, Wolfe, Powell, into Estill, Lee, even Jackson and Owsley counties here over the next little bit. So we're going to continue to watch this thunderstorm complex as it pushes to the east and the southeast, and we will continue to watch the potential for that damaging wind as we watch the storms continue to push to the south and east. Now, the Weather Service saying they're going to keep an eye on things as we head through the next little bit, which I agree with, and we're going to keep an eye on the potential for damaging winds. And this tornado, or this severe thunderstorm warning that does remain, still has a tornado possible tag on it as it works through portions of the Kentucky River Valley. So I'm going to just make sure we've got the track on this just to see who's up next with the damaging winds. And this is moving to the southeast at 30 miles per hour. This is 60-mile-per-hour winds possible and nickel-size hail. And we'll continue to track that off to the east and southeast at 30 miles per hour. So if this holds together, Sandy Hook by, in the next 5 minutes or so, 6:02, looking at the potential for damaging winds. Hazel Green by 6:08, Grassy Creek 6:09, West Liberty by 6:16, Candle City 6:23, Blaine 6:30, Talby by 6:37, Chenoweth by 6:40, Jackson by 6:47, and Oil Springs by 6:54. Again, our tornado warning has been allowed to expire early, has been canceled, but we're still going to keep an eye on the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms pushing through the Kentucky River Valley from Moorhead to West Liberty, down back toward Irvin and Beattyville. We're going to be right back with more of WYMT Mountain News coming up in just a few minutes. Stick with us.
WYMT News app.